All right, so good evening and welcome to our open house for the Facilities Master Plan. I'd like to extend a big welcome to the members of the public, staff, and council who are here on our Zoom call, and also to anybody watching on YouTube. For a little bit of clarity about how this is going to run, we will start with a presentation. That presentation is being broadcast on YouTube Live and will be saved on the town's YouTube channel, so you can watch that at any time. Once the presentation is done, we will say goodbye to everyone on YouTube, and we will have some breakout sessions amongst the group who are on Zoom, and those will not be broadcast, although of course we will be taking notes and to maintain for our own records. So please understand that this first portion is being broadcast live, so please be aware of that. So if Gabrielle, if you'd go on to the next slide, I think we can begin. So we are going to start with a land acknowledgement. We are then going to be talking about the project itself. Once again, that middle section, introduction to the project, that's going to describe the different facilities, talk a bit about our objectives and our timelines. That portion is all going to be broadcast on YouTube. Then we will be breaking out into breakout rooms, which will not be broadcast on YouTube. So next slide, please, Gabrielle. And Your Worship, Mayor Dolan, if you'd be so kind as to read our land acknowledgement.
Thank you, Carolina. The town of Innisfil acknowledges that we are situated on treaty land that is steeped in rich Indigenous history. We also acknowledge that this land is the traditional territories of the First Peoples of Turtle Island. It is shared between the Anishinaabe peoples of Beausoleil First Nation, the Chippewas of Rama First Nation, and the Chippewas of Georgina Island First Nation, and we thank them for generations of stewardship. This meeting place is still the home to many Indigenous people, and as settlers, we are grateful to have the opportunity to work on this land. The town acknowledges the forced sacrifices that are the foundation of Canadian society today. We are dedicated to honoring Indigenous history and culture and committed to moving forward in the spirit of reconciliation and respect with all First Nation, Métis, and Inuit peoples.
Thank you, Your Worship. So this part of the open house, once again, is the live broadcast portion. And so once again, welcome to everybody who's watching on YouTube. Next slide, please. So just wanted to introduce you to the project team. For the consultant team, we have from Colliers Project Leaders, we have Dean Plater as our project manager, Gabrielle Bouchard as our project assistant / engineer, Gordon Crystal as our municipal asset management expert, and Jake Dean as our financial and performance analyst. And for everybody who's here on the Zoom call, you will get a chance to work with each of these people in the breakout sessions. And then from the town, we have Nikki Ballas, our acting facilities manager, Jessica Jenkins, manager of capital engineering, and myself, Carolina Cotillo, capital planning engineering associate. So next, please. So for those of you who saw the presentation that we made to council a few weeks ago, this will look very familiar. This is outlining the objectives of the plan. So the Facilities Master Plan fits into the town's larger asset management program. It is the way that we are hoping to address a number of facilities that have not been covered through any of our other master planning and asset management processes. As we go further, on the next slide, you'll see what those are. So we're hoping to close those information gaps. We're also hoping to take a look at each of these facilities in a holistic fashion that will then allow us to plan what the uses and the futures of these facilities are going to be for the next 30 years. So if you'll move on to the next one, please. So these are the facilities that are within the scope of this particular facilities master plan. Most of these, I think, will be familiar to most people in the town. You'll notice that 2 of them are grayed out. Those are 2 that we won't be talking about today. Those are the Salt and Sand Dome and the Innisfil Operations Center. The reason we won't be talking about those 2 today is that they are very much town use oriented, whereas all of these other facilities from town hall through the various arenas and community centers, the Rizzardo Center, the theater, et cetera, all have community uses and are used by members of the public and community groups. Next slide, please. So in terms of what we have done thus far, we have developed and gone to council a little bit less than a month ago to identify some guiding principles, and that's what you see on the screen before you here. So the idea behind these guiding principles is we did want to make sure that we were taking a look at sort of what makes these facilities important to people and how they're used. And we wanted to make sure that we were avoiding the problems that you can get into where different people have different opinions, or there are competing priorities for the same facility. And by developing these guiding principles, we have an agreed upon and approved by council list of criteria to consider and to take into account when we're looking at any of these facilities. So as you can see, they're very holistic. They take a look at a lot of different features. So the first one, of course, amenities for future generations. We're taking a look at how the community changes over time and making sure that we are meeting those community needs going forward. Sustaining services. So we know that over time, requirements and demands will change as the community grows, and we want to make sure that our facilities are suited to all of the services that we're going to need to provide. Environmentally, we want to look at green sustainability, carbon reduction, where those opportunities present themselves. Multi-use, multifunctional facilities is an important one. That is, taking a look at our assets and buildings so that we know that they can meet that variety of users' activities and functions. So rather than having a single-use facility, we'd like to see, are there facilities that we can have more uses at different times of the year, different times of the day, different types of uses. Modern functionality, we're looking at accommodating changes in the way that people will interact with facilities as time goes forward. Smart investments, so we want use of funding and resources for life cycle investment planning. So it's taking a look at the whole life cycle of the building, including the operating costs to run it on a day-to-day basis. And last but not least, preserving heritage. We do know that some of the facilities that we have, particularly the Cookstown Theatre and the Knock Community Center, are identified as heritage structures. And we definitely want to know, want to be able to support preservation and care of those structures. Next slide, please, Gabby. So where we are right now, we've done a lot of the background work on this. We've done a lot of sort of the engineering type work where we're taking a look at data from the buildings. We're taking a look at, what types of money do we spend? What types of maintenance activities are we undertaking? So we've managed to get a lot of that information and started analyzing that. We've established the guiding principles, and now we're starting to get into the stage where we are looking for your input. So we are looking for input from the public who use these facilities. We are looking for input from stakeholders. We've been doing interviews, and we are holding this open house tonight to gather your input as well. And for those who are watching on YouTube or are unable to attend tonight, you can still contribute by going onto the town's Get Involved page, which will give you a link to it later on in the presentation. Following all of this analysis of both, sort of the hard engineering data and what we get from these various stakeholder interviews, open house, and submissions you give to us, we will be putting this all together, synthesizing it into a report that then makes recommendations about all of these different facilities. Next slide, please. So today, our goal is to get your opinions about these 9 facilities. So we want to hear about what you like about them, what you don't like about them, how they're meeting your needs, whether that's as a representative of a community group or an individual person who uses them, and areas where they're not meeting your needs and they need improvement. So we want to also develop an understanding of what principles are important to you in deciding how you use those buildings. So next slide, please. So as I said, beyond the open house, we will be using all of this information to produce a document that then gives us guidance as to what we want to do with these buildings moving forward. That document will also become part of our asset management process and part of the overarching way that the town looks at different types of infrastructure and puts those together for our asset management and capital budgeting. I do encourage anybody who is either watching on YouTube or is unable to come today to take a look at getinvolvedinnisfil.ca/facilities. You can see that link at the bottom of the page. And if you go there, you will scroll down on the page, you will see somewhere it says ask a question. You can put questions or comments into that box, and we are happy to receive them, and we're very much looking forward to them. So please do. And that anyone who's on here today and is part of the Zoom group and doesn't get a chance to say something they wanted to say, or perhaps thinks of something after the fact, please go ahead and go there and provide your comments. So we're very, very much looking forward to that. So with that, if you, Mayor Dolan, or any member of council has any comments, we'd be happy to hear them before we break to go into the breakout rooms.
Thank you, Carolina. No, I'm good. I just want to thank you and the team from Colliers for having this today, and really encourage everybody from different groups, stakeholder groups, across the town to spread the word, to make sure that people populate that Get Involved Innisfil page. We don't want people coming to us after the fact saying they didn't know about it. So we're counting on you to help us spread the word. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Dolan. So once again, that's at getinvolvedinnisfil.ca/facilities. And I do encourage anyone who's watching us on YouTube today to go ahead, check that site out and do contribute. So with that, we will be moving shortly into the breakout rooms. I thank everybody who took the time to watch us on YouTube, but we will be ending our live